Hi, this is Lane8492. This is the only true crime story video I'm doing today. This one is another case in the state of Florida, this time a Florida death row inmate, Michael Lee King. You see, Michael Lee King was convicted and sentenced to death for the abduction, essay, and murder of 21-year-old Denise Amber Lee in Northport in Sarasota County, Florida. You see, Denise Amber Lee, who was 21 years old, was the daughter of a Sarasota County detective, Sergeant Rick Goff. Apparently, 21-year-old Denise Amber Lee was abducted from her home by Michael Lee King. What caused this crime was the gross incompetence by 911 dispatchers, because one witness who saw Denise Amber Lee in the car which was a green 1994 Camaro driven by Michael Lee King. She had called 911 and saw Denise Amber Lee screaming and begging for help. And apparently, as it turned out, the 911 call was completely mishandled, which is considered gross incompetence. Had it been handled better, Denise Amber Lee probably would have been rescued alive. But instead, it was grossly mishandled, according to which was this 911 call made by the witness, Jane Kowalski. And sadly, Denise Amber Lee died for it. But an investigation would quickly lead to the arrest of Michael Lee King. And he went on trial for the abduction, essay, and unaliving of Denise Amber Lee. He was found guilty and sentenced to death. And 6 years ago, his final writ for certiorari was denied by the Supreme Court of the United States. And now, Michael Lee King has been served his warrant of execution, setting his execution for March 17th, which will take place 2 weeks after the execution of Billy Leon Kearse. Of course, I already did a true crime video on him. And, of course, earlier this week, on Tuesday, Florida executed Ronald Palmer Heath. And then the next execution will be of Melvin Lee Trotter, then Billy Leon Kearse. And I've already done the true crime videos on them. What happened to Denise Amber Lee would cause a legislative session to make sure that 911 dispatchers receive uniform training to make sure they do their job right, because apparently they didn't do their job right when it was mishandled, when the 911 call by witness Jane Kowalski was mishandled by a 911 operator, which sadly, as a result, Denise Amber Lee was killed by Michael Lee King. It passed the legislature unanimously to make sure that 911 operators handle their job much better than what they did, that sadly led to the murder of Denise Amber Lee in Sarasota County, Florida. Usually most of these death row inmates who've been executed lately in Florida have been on death row for more than 30 or even 40 years. But as for Michael Lee King, he's been on death row for 18 years in Florida. But still, that is too long. And it's, as I said, it's the appeals process that have allowed these death row inmates to live on borrowed time. Lawyers argued that Michael Lee King may be mentally challenged due to a low IQ. But he's pretty much argued this in the appeals process, and none of it has been successful. And as I said, his execution date is now set for March 17th at the Florida State Prison in Stark, Florida, which will be 2 weeks, as I said, after the execution of Billy Leon Kearse. This is Lane8492. I have an associate's, bachelor's, and master's degree in criminal justice. Hope you enjoy this video and let me know what you think. Thanks.